Have you ever stood up from your favorite chair and felt a profound sense of disconnect from your own legs? A dragging, heavy sensation, as if you are wading through deep water just to cross a room? Perhaps you have noticed a subtle swelling around your ankles that seems to worsen as the day goes on, creating a quiet tightness in your shoes that definitely was not there in the morning. For millions of adults, this is not a rare occurrence. It is a daily reality, a creeping erosion of confidence and physical freedom. It is often quickly dismissed as an inevitable consequence of getting older, a simple truth society says we must all accept. But as a physician, I want to tell you that this narrative is not only incomplete, it can be dangerously misleading. This persistent feeling of instability and fatigue is not your fault, but ignoring its root cause can have significant consequences for your long-term health and independence. Today, we are not going to talk about strenuous gym workouts or complicated exercise routines. Instead, we are going to explore the remarkable science of your circulatory design. To understand the solution, we must first appreciate the hidden problem, which is essentially one of fundamental physics, gravity. Your heart does a magnificent job of pumping oxygenated blood throughout your body, but returning that deoxygenated blood from your feet and lower legs back up to the chest is a much more challenging task. It is literally an uphill battle against a constant downward pull. To solve this, your body is naturally equipped with what is often referred to by physiologists as a peripheral heart or a secondary heart system located deep within your calf. This is not a literal second organ, but rather a powerful, highly efficient muscular pump. Every time you take a step, the muscles in your calf contract, squeezing the deep veins within them. These veins are lined with one-way valves, so when the muscle squeezes, blood is forced upward, and the valves prevent it from flowing back down. This calf muscle pump is absolutely essential for proper circulation. However, a crucial part of this system is a muscle that many people have never even heard of, the soleus. It lies beneath the larger, more visible gastrocnemius muscle. While the gastrocnemius is designed for explosive movements like jumping, the soleus is an absolute workhorse. It is an endurance muscle designed to work tirelessly for hours on end to maintain your posture and consistently pump blood. As we age, a combination of a more sedentary lifestyle, changes in gait, and natural muscle atrophy can cause this crucial soleus pump to become entirely dormant. It simply does not receive the strong, complete contractions it needs to work effectively, and normal walking often is not enough to fully engage this deep muscle. When the soleus pump is inefficient, fluid begins to pool in the lower legs, which leads directly to that feeling of heaviness, visible swelling, and an increased risk of serious issues like venous insufficiency. But the good news is, this system is not broken. It is merely offline, and it can be safely restored. Our first task is not to overwhelm this dormant muscle with heavy weights or sudden long walks. From an educational perspective, in physical therapy, throwing intense stress at an inactive system is a common mistake that often leads to strain. Instead, we need to gently wake it up. We will do this from a position of complete safety and stability, which is right in your chair. By removing the burden of your body weight, we allow your brain to focus entirely on re-establishing a clear line of communication with the soleus. Find a sturdy chair and sit tall, ensuring your back is well supported. Place your feet perfectly flat on the floor so that your knees form a comfortable 90-degree angle. Rest your hands gently on your thighs to provide a slight steadying pressure. Now, keeping the balls of your feet firmly planted on the ground, slowly and deliberately, lift both of your heels as high as you comfortably can. As you reach the top of this movement, you should feel a distinct contraction, a deep squeeze in the lower back portion of your legs. Hold this contraction for 1 or 2 full seconds. This intentional pause is highly educational for your nervous system, as it forces the brain to recognize and memorize the activation of this specific muscle. Then comes the most crucial part. With just as much control, slowly lower your heels back to the floor. Do not simply let them drop. In rehabilitation science, this controlled lowering, known as the eccentric phase of the movement, is considered just as important as the lift itself. It builds resilient muscle memory and reinforces the neural pathways we are trying to repair. Repeat this deliberate movement 10 to 15 times. This simple, quiet motion might not look like a traditional workout, but it is a profoundly effective biological intervention. It acts as a direct signal to your nervous system, a clear command to reactivate the soleus. Think of it as rebooting a vital piece of internal software. This seated exercise is the foundational step in restoring the essential pump that supports your entire circulatory system from the ground up, safely preparing your body for the upright movements. Now that we have re-established that vital connection to the soleus muscle from a safe, seated position, it is time to teach it how to function in the real world, under the influence of gravity and your own body weight. The transition from sitting to standing is one of the most common moments where people feel unsteady. That brief hesitation, that slight wobble, or the instinct to reach for support is your body telling you that its internal balance system is not firing as quickly or as effectively as it once did. From an educational standpoint, it is vital to understand that this is not just about muscle weakness, it is a neurological issue. Deep within your muscles, tendons, and joints, particularly around your ankles, are millions of tiny nerve receptors. This network is called the proprioceptive system. It constantly sends information to your brain about your physical position in space, the angle of your joints, the tension in your muscles, and the distribution of your weight. Your brain then processes this data in fractions of a second to make tiny automatic adjustments to your posture to keep you upright. With age, the speed and clarity of these signals can diminish. Furthermore, if the muscles around the ankle are weak, they cannot respond quickly enough to the rapid commands from the brain. This is where instability originates, representing a fundamental breakdown in communication and response. The next movement we will perform is designed to address both of these issues simultaneously. It builds functional strength while actively retraining this neurological feedback loop. Find a sturdy surface, like a kitchen countertop or the back of a heavy, stable chair. Stand facing it, with your feet positioned about hip-width apart, toes pointing straight ahead. Place your hands lightly on the surface. It is crucial that you use this for balance only, not to support your weight. Your legs should be doing the physical work. Now, engage your core slightly to stabilize your torso and shift your weight forward onto the balls of your feet. From this stable base, slowly and deliberately lift both of your heels, rising up as high as you can. At the top of the movement, intentionally pause. Feel how your calf muscles, both the deeper soleus and the superficial gastrocnemius, are now working together to support your entire body weight against gravity. Feel the small adjustments your ankles are making to keep you steady. This is your proprioceptive system at work, being actively challenged and retrained. After that brief pause, lower your heels back to the ground with extreme control. Imagine you are placing a fragile object on the floor. The descent should be slow, smooth, and deliberate. Performing 10 to 15 repetitions of this standing calf raise does far more than walking. While walking is excellent cardiovascular exercise, the calf contraction during a normal gait is often brief and incomplete. This isolated full range of motion exercise forces the muscles to work through their entire capacity, building highly resilient strength. Each repetition is a powerful pump for your circulatory system, actively pushing stagnant fluid out of your feet and ankles. But more importantly, it is a direct training session for your nerves. You are sharpening the communication between your feet and your brain, teaching your body to trust itself again, to be stable, and to be grounded. Practicing this once in the morning can prime your legs for the day, and again in the evening can help alleviate the swelling that has accumulated. I would love to know how this exercise works for you and supports your daily routine. Please take a moment to leave a comment below this video and share your experience with ankle swelling or balance, and let our community know if you feel a difference in your stability after trying this movement. We have successfully awakened the soleus pump and integrated it into a functional weight-bearing movement. Now, we will take the final and most important step. We will isolate and fortify the single muscle that is the true cornerstone of your postural stability. To truly build a foundation that resists an unexpected trip or an uneven patch of pavement, we must move from building general strength to cultivating intelligent, responsive strength. From an educational perspective, it is fascinating to understand how your body delegates physical tasks. As we discussed, Your calf is composed of two primary muscles. The gastrocnemius, the visible outer muscle, is the muscle of power used for dynamic actions. The soleus, however, is the muscle of posture. Its dense concentration of slow-twitch muscle fibers makes it incredibly resistant to fatigue, allowing it to work subtly all day long to keep you upright. It is the muscle that makes the minute adjustments, preventing a stumble from becoming a fall. Most conventional calf exercises primarily target the larger gastrocnemius, but there is a simple biomechanical principle we can use to shift the focus entirely onto the soleus, your deep stability engine. When your leg is straight, the gastrocnemius is in a position of mechanical advantage and does most of the heavy lifting. However, by simply bending your knee, you put slack in the gastrocnemius. This effectively takes it out of its primary role and forces the underlying soleus to take over the workload. This structural adjustment is the secret to directly training your most critical postural muscle. For this final movement, stand behind your sturdy chair or countertop once again, holding on lightly for balance. Shift your body weight entirely onto one leg. Let us start with the right. Lift your left foot off the floor, slightly behind you. Now, here is the absolutely critical step. Soften your right knee. This is not a deep squat. It is merely a slight athletic bend. Your knee should be unlocked and comfortably flexed. From this bent knee single leg stance, slowly raise your right heel off the floor. As you perform this, you will likely find that your range of motion is smaller than before. The feeling of the muscle contraction will also be distinctly different. It'll feel much deeper, located further down your leg, closer to your Achilles tendon. This deep sensation is a clear sign that you have successfully isolated the soleus. Pause at the top of this movement, focusing entirely on your balance. Notice how your ankle joint is working overtime, making rapid micro-adjustments to keep you stable. Then, with absolute control, slowly lower your heel back to the floor. The entire downward movement should be performed with deep mental intention. Aim to complete 8 to 12 repetitions on this side before carefully switching your weight over to the left leg, bending the left knee, and repeating the movement. This specific exercise is fundamentally different from traditional fitness routines. It is not about speed, and it is not about power. It is entirely about precision and control. You are actively teaching your nervous system to rely on the correct structural support when you are placed in a vulnerable single-leg position, which happens every time you take a walking step. This is a direct investment in the muscular and neurological systems that protect you in sudden moments of instability. By mastering this isolated movement, you provide your body with the educational stimulus needed to maintain walking independence and complete physical confidence. By integrating these 3 deliberate movements into your daily routine, you are doing much more than just performing a physical exercise. You are creating a comprehensive system of support for your entire lower body and cardiovascular health. Let us review the educational journey we have taken today. We began with the seated calf raise to safely awaken the dormant soleus muscle. Then, we progressed to the standing raise to build functional strength and retrain your neurological pathways under the pressure of gravity. Finally, we isolated that deep stability engine with the single-leg bent knee raise to ensure your posture remains secure. Together, these 3 steps form a complete blueprint for your physical balance and circulatory support. For too long, the narrative surrounding aging has told us that the heaviness in your legs, the frustrating afternoon swelling, and that sudden hesitation when you stand up are just your unavoidable destiny. From an educational perspective, I want you to remember the most important lesson from our discussion today. These issues are often symptoms of a mechanical system that has gone offline, a system that can absolutely be restored with patience. You are actively reclaiming a fundamental piece of the natural design of your body. Please remember that while these educational movements are highly effective for supporting your wellness, they are part of an overall healthy lifestyle. When it comes to this type of physical restoration, you must understand that consistency is far more important than intensity. You do not need to spend hours at the gym or push yourself to exhaustion. A few mindful minutes dedicated to this practice each day can profoundly change your relationship with gravity. It will change how you experience daily movement and restore your internal sense of security. You are not just building stronger leg muscles, You are actively rebuilding the confidence to move through your everyday life with the strength and grace you deserve. Thank you for taking the time to learn about your body today. If you found this educational video helpful, please hit the like button. I encourage you to subscribe to the channel so you never miss our future discussions on healthy aging. Finally, drop a comment below to let us know which of the 3 exercises you plan to try first. Keep moving and stay consistent.